Got an opinion or want to ask us a question? Email radio@experiencepros.com or message us on the Experience Pros Facebook page, and we'll interact with you live on the show.
Welcome back to the Experience Pros Radio Show. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us for ours. Angel Tussey and Eric Kramer hanging out with you today. Unless you are a principal stock broker or in the stock market today, the job market is booming.
Right. Nearly 2 million jobs were added to the U.S. economy in 2017, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And there could be just as many great new jobs added in 2018. But how do you get your foot in the door of one of the successful on-the-rise companies? Well, our expert guest is Martin Yate. He wrote the book, Knock 'em Dead, The Ultimate Job Search Guide. It's New York Times bestseller. It's actually Martin is actually the author of 17 career management books. He's helped millions turn their lives around. And the Knock 'em Dead, The Ultimate Search Guide is now in its 30th annual edition. It's the keystone of an 18-book career management series collectively published in some 63 foreign language editions, where he covers every aspect of job search and career management in his books. The book, Knock 'em Dead, The Ultimate Job Search Guide. Martin Yate, welcome to the Experience Pros Radio Show.
Angel, Eric, pleasure to be with you.
Martin, the pleasure is all ours. The job market's better now, according to statistics and reports in the news. Is it easier to find a good job at this point in time?
Depends if you know how it's done, doesn't it? Everything's easy when you know the way. I think a good example of the mistakes people make. We have a resume writing and coaching business we have for many years, and I had an inquiry today, and the guy says in the email, I think I need some help. I'm having a lot of problem getting 30 years experience onto a one-page resume. And we got an hour show right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Right. Number one, he doesn't understand how recruitment works today.
Right.
And recruitment works largely by recruiters going into databases, and they're looking to fill a specific job title. So a resume has to be focused on a job. It's not just a history of everything you've done, because that sits at the bottom of some of these databases that have 500 million.
Right.
And the other thing is one page for 30 years. That's a rule that came into being in 1847 when I first got in the business.
Wait a minute, we can have resumes with multiple pages?
You haven't looked for a job in a while, have you, Eric?
I like the one I got.
There's always been this rule, and I know that it's been around since 1973, which is a one-page resume if you can. If not, never more than 2 pages, 1 page for every 10 years. And they still live by that, and it's irrelevant. Simple math question, guys. If a resume is discoverable because of its data density relating to the job you're trying for, which is going to be more effective, a 1-page or a 2-page resume?
2-page.
Yeah, because there's more room to be data dense. And if the story can go onto a 3rd page, there isn't a hiring manager in the world that said on page 2, I've got to have Eric Kramer in here. Oh, no, I can't. He's got a 3-page resume.
All right. So, Martin, I love this. You've already been invited back to the show. How about this? I like my job, but I'm not making enough money to convert to 2018 living standards. Does your book help with that?
In some ways, if you're moving jobs, you can get a raise. Now is a good time of year to be moving. You've just had a review. If you change jobs in the first 4 to 4.5 months, come the end of the year, you might be liable for another review. That's 3 raises in 1 year.
Wow.
I think more than anything, in every department, there's an inner circle and an outer circle. You look at your station. And the inner circle are the mover and shakers. They're the ones who get the plum assignments, the raises, and the promotions, and get to keep their jobs.
Yeah.
It's the old 80-20 rule.
Sure.
80% of the work gets done by 20% of the people. So if you're not making enough, before you change jobs, one of the first things you should do is look at yourself, look at your department, and say, am I in the inner circle or the outer circle? Because wherever you are is by choice. And you're probably going to find you're in the outer circle. So now Do I stay where I am, behaving like I am, or do I look at these people who've identified as the real influencers and model myself on them? Everything about them, how they dress, how they behave, the effort they put in, how they conduct themselves, how they dress. And if you do that, if you change your attitude towards work and fit the profile that's getting ahead there, you'll, within 6 months to a year, you may very well be part of that inner circle, which can do quite a lot for your earnings over the long haul.
Right. So often we have to look in the mirror, right? Because if we're in the outer circle at this company, we're very likely going to be in the outer circle in the next company we land at, right?
Yes. You know, there's some people who go to work every day, and you know, let's say there's 10 of us in an office, and there's a fire in the trash bucket. You call the fire department and then security, and I run out looking for a fire extinguisher. And the other 8 people in the department, well, half of them are leaning against the wall watching what's going on, saying that's not my job, and the other half have gone out for a cigarette break.
I recognize that. You've been to the office, have you?
It was a cigar.
Oh, that makes all the difference.
Martin Yate, the author of the book Knock 'em Dead, the ultimate job search guide, New York Times bestseller. How do we follow you? How do we get a copy of the book?
And how do we get you back on the show?
Yeah, and how do we get you back on the show?
I'm cheap and I'm easy. The book's available anywhere. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, local bookstores, except those ones that sell channeling crystals. I'm not very big in that market. And you can get it in print or PDF or Kindle and all these different formats.
Martin, I can tell by your accent you're from Houston. Do you like it?
No, Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. I love this. All right. A final question for you. Social media, of course, all the rage these days. Do you find social media effective for landing a new job? And if so, which platform do you like the best?
If you use it properly, it can be very useful. Social media platforms for networking for your professional life, LinkedIn. You can forget everything else.
I agree.
But if you just go and noodle around there and chat with people online, that's not doing a job search. You need to have a profile, have it optimized, join the groups that are relevant to your profession, not the job search groups. There's just people trying to sell you stuff. The ones that are relevant to your profession. And then when you see a job posting for Last Chance Electronics, you apply, upload your resume in the normal way. Then you go to your groups and see who works or has worked at Last Chance Electronics, especially those who hold the titles 1, 2, and 3 levels above you, because they're the people who are going to hire you. And you can probably get in contact with that person or someone who can get you in contact with them.
Awesome. Awesome tips. Right off the tongue. He's like step 1,
Martin,
step 2, step 3.
You hit it out of the ballpark here. And I'll tell you what, check your LinkedIn profile here shortly, because you're going to get a connection from Angel and me. Great interview. Thank you for joining us on the Experience Pros Radio Show.
That's great. You're so much more fun than most of my connections. Have a great day, guys.
We'll be back with more positive business talk right after this.
You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio Show, America's home for positive business talk.